One, two, three, four, five takeaways away from Arsenal versus Leverkusen. Arsenal 4, Leverkusen 1. If you don't know, while we can't draw too many conclusions on the game in pre-season, I do think it provided some talking points. So let's jump straight into it. Number one for me would be Kai Havertz can play in midfield, or at least Mikel Arteta thinks so. Of course, it means the build-up play has to be slightly tweaked to allow Kai Havertz to really thrive. You're probably reliant on a bit more of your inverted fullbacks, and you rely a bit more on Martin Odegaard. I think everybody could see Martin Odegaard has one of the most complicated roles within this Arsenal system or team. He plays as a 10 and leads the press. He pulls out to the right. He pulls out to the left. And as you can see on screen, in terms of build-up play, he pulls into somewhat a position that you'd expect to see Jorginho, Partey, or on occasions Declan Rice. Now, for me, I don't believe the Kai Havertz in midfield myth can continue for long. I do think we can get away with it game by game, and there's certain game states that obviously we could do with such. But Kai Havertz, in terms of build-up play, he needs somebody that is going to help him in that regards. He needs a creator to do his job so that he can be a dynamic runner and move off the ball and get onto the defender's shoulders and exploit space to harm the opposition, which I think he does in great effect, in which big up Arteta for finding a tweak around such people. In my opinion, number two, we still need a central midfielder, kind of tying into number one. Let's hope that we get the Moreno deal done. For me, I think every Arsenal fan could see, whether it's relying on Thomas Partey and Jorginho on a prolonged basis, Kai Havertz in midfield, need a long-term option. We need that third man to complete the Declan Rice and Odegaard kind of set, in my humble opinion. Number three, you've got to take your time, but it's hard not to be excited about Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly in particular. They're coming along just fine. They're slowly cooking and they're doing their thing, especially Miles. As you can see, there's a lot he needs to do off the ball, when to play, when not to play, when to try, and when to keep it simple. But I think his temperament is good. He's clearly receptive to learning whatever Mikel Arteta demands of him. In relation to Ethan, the man's a baller, really, probably needs to learn to do things in one or two touches if you can. But these are things for both players that you would expect to see of young players at their age. We need to take time with them, but they're showing that they can cope with Arsenal first team demands, specifically what the manager needs from them. They showed during the US tour and in the first game in the Emirates Stadium that they've played in, so let's just hope that they keep doing what they're doing, and you'd believe they'll be pushing for places. One does wonder, especially with Lewis-Skelly, if we let Zinchenko go either this season or within the next 2 years, and I don't want to see Tomiyasu go, but due to his injuries and the length of contract he signed in renewal, potentially Lewis-Skelly could get a place in that inverted role, people. Number four for me would be Zinchenko may not be yours or mine, or maybe even Mikel Arteta's first choice, but we cannot write him off. There's a good chance, based on Timber's injuries, kind of rehabilitation, based on the fact that Calafiori hasn't really been training but hasn't really been going. There's a massive chance that Zinchenko could actually start against Wolves. We all know his issues defensively. While they didn't come to light against Leverkusen, it's another day where another right wing back, inverted wing back, right winger looked to take him on. I think he was good in the middle and final third, and in the last two pre-season games, he's done quite well down that left-hand side, and you saw the build-up to his goal, which along a number of players helped, but him, Trossard and Kai Havertz in particular did what they're doing. So I don't think Zinchenko is ready to give up on his Arsenal future yet. We haven't heard there's been any offers for him. He's got 2 years left, and to be fair to the lad, even though I would play Timber, Calafiori and Tomiyasu ahead of him, if anyone knows about winning a Premier League title or two in this squad and you're not the manager, it would be Mr. Zinchenko. So I don't think we should write him off. And who knows, with us, Gabriel Jesus is coming back. He play up, but he needs to stay fit and score the goal. I think he was quality in Lyon. It's showtime against Wolves. So again, as I said at the start, while you can't draw too many conclusions of pre-season, these are just things that I was looking at, people. And it begs the question, what do you guys think, people? Do we have enough for the start of the season? Are we stronger at this stage than we were last year? Do we have everything that we require to potentially pick Manchester City for the Premier League title in our third, or better yet, I assume, third attempt at winning the Premier League? So yeah, good day at the office, scored a lot of goals. teams ticking over, first team players getting minutes, young players getting some minutes. Ultimately, the worst criticism I could say of the Leverkusen game is that we've conceded a goal, but it is what it is in that regards. Hopefully, we do a lot better against Lyon and we start the Premier League in the best possible fashion, because as you know, our first 5 games are a madness, people. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe, people. Big up yourselves. Stay safe, stay blessed.